Sorry, but before we start the podcast, I wanted to say sorry for the mic ringing voice, like the noise at the background. I'm really sorry, but I hope you guys enjoy the podcast. Hi there. Welcome to my podcast. Welcome to Everything Talks with Penny. Um, yeah, welcome to my podcast. Welcome to my podcast. Every time I say it, I still can't believe that I've started this. It's I remember I started this just talking about sexuality and really my aspects on it, coming out and all that. But then I kept on changing the name of my podcast. If you've been here for long, you definitely know all the names that I've gone through by. I've gone by Black Queer, I've gone by Black Girls, and now we're finally settling to Everything Talks. So hopefully this one sticks. It has a nice ring to it. Welcome to the channel. Hi. If you're watching this on YouTube, hello. I know I keep saying that I'll upload a visual, but I never do. The last two podcasts I promised a visual, but there's always been a problem with uploading it, but now I finally have that problem settled out, and we can finally have the visual to this podcast. If you listen from Spotify or Anchor and you want to see a visual of me, definitely go check out my YouTube channel. Hopefully I'll link it in my description box. Let's talk about something different, yeah. Let's talk about change. Let's talk about change. Just something just came up to my mind. I'm trying to note it down. I'm really sorry, guys. And I forgot about it. Today's topic is change. Change. What is change? I believe that everyone has their own description of how they describe change. My way of describing change is something that is out of your comfort zone. That to me is change. Something different, something you're not used to, something you're not ready for. Something that affects how you as a person used to, it affects your routine. That's the word. It affects your daily routine. It's different, something that's big. It can even be small, but it's changed. I don't know if the lighting is so bad. Let me using the natural light, and it's kind of raining, so the weather is cloudy and not really sunny at all. So I'm really sorry about the terrible lighting, guys. So yeah, let's continue. There are positive and negative aspects to change, isn't it? Obviously there are. There's always a positive and negative side to everything. That's what I say. Okay, nothing comes in a whole positive only aspects. It's always going to be negative. A positive change in your life could be negative change to someone else's life, meaning that you either have to drop someone to get to a promotion, maybe to get to be in that position that you want. There's someone else who might need to be stepped on, and I quote, because really change is something that brings out the good and the bad in people, depending on what it is. Personally, change to me is something big. It's something very alien to me, and one thing about me is that I'm really scared of change. I hate change. I love living in that bubble that I have and I'm wrapped in. I love living in a small space where I know that this and this and this will happen. It's not exactly a routine, but it's something that doesn't change, which actually makes it a routine. But I don't like to live in like a scheduled way. Do you guys feel me? Like, I like to live my life knowing that something can happen in between these and I'll be able to, adjust to it. I like to be flexible. I don't like to have a scheduled way of living. That's not how I feel. I like to, go with the flow, if you would say. But that's different, and that's not really living a good life, is it? But I adjust to change. That's one thing about me, is that I adjust to change. And as much as I adjust to it, does not mean that I am completely okay with it. Okay, that's where it brings out the whole negativity and change. I am positive that something that happens to me has to happen for a reason. That's the philosophy that I go with. Everything that happens in my life has to happen for a reason. Like, this is a rite of passage that I have to go through to get to a certain specific point in my life. You get me? Like, I have to go through a lot, fucking a lot, to reach to a certain destination. Now that I'm in that destination, I can sit back and be like, you know what? All that I have actually been going through, or the few classes that I've been in, have actually helped me get to this place where I'm like, I deserve to be in this place because I've gone through all the tests that I had to go through. And those tests changed my mentality, my spirituality, my mental health, my emotions, my physique, maybe. Like, there's always has to be a positive aspect and a negative aspect in change, one way or the other. And that's just something that we always have to be prepared for, is that you have to look at things from both angles. Yes, you got that promotion, you're getting more money, but it also means you're getting more workload on you. And with that pressure that you have on you, that means if you have a family, that automatically the pressure that is given onto you by your boss, by your superiors, you're going to unload that to your family, to your friends, to someone or something, which can lead to substances. You get me? Like, it's just something that's there. And I know I'm just 20 and I'm talking to you guys about change, and I haven't really experienced everything that is under that table. I've been going through all the changes in my life, and that's just the good part, is that you never stop changing. You never really stop changing. So as much as there's change, you have to know that there's always a good and a bad aspect in that. There's always going to be a positive side of that, and there's always going to be a negative side of change. So you have to always be prepared for that. And now let's go into the next point, which is how it affects you as an individual. Like I said, getting a raise means you have more money. That also means you have more workload on you. Do you understand? Like, you are now even more pressured, and that pressure now determines how this certain change will affect you. Okay, the positive side of this is that you're getting more money and you're getting more work experience. That's the positive side. The negative side is now you're getting overworked, you're getting an overload, you are getting more stressed, you're probably getting even more thin. Like, how it affects you personally, change to me, I don't let change me. I don't know if you guys understand that. I do not let change me. I always stick to my roots that I have embedded inside of my body. Like, I have specific rules in me, like principles that guide me to what I have become right now, and what I have achieved in this 20 something years of my life. Do you guys understand? Like, I am at that point where I feel like, to be greatly honest, I am just floating. Like, I do not let change affect me as much, because I have those principles that are stick into me. Like, I have things that up to now someone could say, do this, and I could look at you and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that, because that's not what I do. Yes, it comes with benefits. It comes with maybe a good amount of money and a good right amount of clothes and shoes, or whatever that you may think that women and society or the generation currently want. That is not who I am. I don't feel like I am defined by what others do, because everyone is on their different journey. You don't expect everyone to go through the same journey that you went through, because your change will not be the same as my change, but trust you me, the results will be similar. The route is different. I will have to go through circles of roundabouts, and I'll have to go through jungles and climb mountains. On the other hand, you just have to go on a straight line, really, just a little bit of bumps here and there. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much we struggled, the results are always going to be the same. Now it's, what have you learned through this journey? What are the changes? What are the lessons that you took from this journey that you had to go through going through the jungle and doing all the good stuff that you had to do there? The suffering that you had to go through. What really did you get from that? How did it affect you? How did the change that you had to go through affect you? Did you come out of all those tests in a positive, stronger, more better physically fit person, mentally strong person, spiritually stronger person? Or did you come out of the challenges and the changes as a person who now is even weaker than they actually started the race? So how it affects you, it's you to determine how something affects you, how change will affect you. In all sense spoken, it's really all on you. At the end of the day, you decide what affects you, because it's all in your mind. Yeah, let that sink in for a second there. Let that sink in. I'm speaking like a therapist right now. I really get that, but I feel like I've gone through a good amount of change to be talking about change. A good amount of change to be talking about change. It is what it is, really. Okay, now you've gone through the journey, you've gone through the struggles, you've either gained or lost something in this route, in this journey that you are on as an individual. You got the changes, you took the positive, you took the negative, you took them all in and let them now be this new character that you are. If you did let that change you. Now, you're out of that jungle and now you're finally interacting with people. You're finally with society. Yeah, society is a really devastating word. When I think about society, I just get goosebumps, like chills. But then again, I am not defined by society. I feel like I am out of the box of society. I don't let whatever people say, tag, label me to bring me down. Really, in all sense, I really don't care what people say. To summarize everything up, I really don't care. Okay, and one thing about me, one thing I always say to myself is that you have to be someone I really care about. Really, really care about. And that's coming from me. That I do not care about people as much as I'd love to. Thing about people that irks me. I'm sorry. But it's the truth. Moving on. So I always tell myself that you have to be someone that I really care for, I really value, that a comment that you display or a comment that you put out to the table to affect me. To get it, like I have to value you that much for something that you say to actually affect me. If I do not care about you, honey, trust me, anything that you say, making sense or not, I will not take it into consideration. I won't even think about it. The journey and the challenges that you've gone through, now that have defined who you are, or you've let them define who you are, how are they affecting the people around you, your friends, your family, your loved ones, these relationships that you have with these other people outside of you as an individual? What and how does it affect the people around you? What is the effect that it has? Does it have a positive effect on the friends and the family? Have you guys grown stronger? Have you now had, I don't know what I'm saying, guys. Do you now have like a stable, what is the word I'm looking for? Foundation, that's the word. Do you now have a stable foundation, a firm foundation that you can base these relationships on? Your friends, your family, your loved ones, everyone, relative, society, whatever it is that you believe in. Do you think that you are ready to now take in the comments that they're going to say? Do you think that since you've changed and people are noticing that you've changed and people are telling you that you've changed, How does it affect your relationship with your friends and your family and society at large? If you're a person who cares about such things, how does it affect you? Have you and your friends or your family or your girlfriend or boyfriend or partner, have you guys grown stronger? Or have you guys drifted apart? What is the effect of this change to these people that are close to your heart, if you have one? I'm really here just trying to, make you think about it. Like, to be honest, people who love you should love you with or without the change. It shouldn't let the change that you have really be embedded on them, if you know what I mean. Like, but at the end of the day, really what matters is, after these people, these close people to your heart, after they have noticed this change, have they taken it in a good way or in a bad way? Now that comes into how you portray the change that you as an individual had. See, it all ties down to you, my friend. It all ties down to you. At the end of the day, it's really all about you. Because you're the one who had to go through this change. You as an individual. You lost someone died, or you drifted apart from someone, or you guys broke up, or whatever it is, you're disowned, whatever it is. Did you let this change break you down, take you down to the gutters? Now you became an alcoholic, a drug addict, a murderer, a criminal, a robber, whatever, an assassinator. Ooh. Let me not comment on that. But really, did it build you, or did it just break you down and show you the worst version of yourself? Is really the question that you should be asking yourself. How do you cope with change? Is the actual question. How do you cope with change? I don't know. Because like I said, I just go with the flow. I don't cope with it. I tend to take things that I can learn from it. Really, that's really what I do. I feel like when you say coping with change, you're just there trying. You're not giving it your all, you're just trying. But in all sense and reality speaking, you are supposed to take something out of change. Okay, you are supposed to. If it's moving from somewhere else, you're supposed to know that that area was good in security, blah 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 blah. I made good relationships, blah blah blah. I learned how to interact with people more, blah blah blah. Maybe now this new place has something different that it brings to the table. More security, more friends, more interactions if you're really into that. And if it's about drifting apart or breaking up, or somebody died, or you lost someone, or whatever, it's more of like, how will you cope with this change? You could go to a therapist. If it's that big of a deal, you could go to a therapist. You could now base everything else on spirituality. You could rely or talk to God if you're like on the whole religion side of it. Talk to God, read your Bible, pray. God will always give you an answer. That's something that I know for sure. God will always give you an answer for everything that you want. That's something that I don't have to really go to school, go to church, hear from a pastor to know that God always has the answers to really everything. He's the real Google, if you would like me to say. I just cringed at that comment, bro. I shouldn't have said it. But yeah, that's the truth. Okay, so if you have someone that you can trust, or you have something that you can do that's positive, that you know that it can help you move from this change, if it's a negative change, that is. But also if it's a positive change, you can have someone that can share the happiness, like it's just there. Change should not change you. It should not define you. It should just bring out the best out of you. That's what I believe personally, and I feel like that's something I should put out there. Like, change isn't meant to change you. It's supposed to either strengthen you more or break you down. where to the point where you are at your fucking lowest, so you really don't have any other option when you hit rock bottom. Okay, the moment you hit rock bottom, the only other route from the ground is up, because you are on the ground. The only other way to get out of that stage, out of the ground, is really to just step on it, step on the gas and lift yourself up. That is the only way out when you hit rock bottom. That's how to put it out there. So how to cope with change? Accept it. Accept that, yes, I lost a friend, yes, I lost a girlfriend, yes, I have been to some of my family, yes, this and this happened. Looking at it right now in a positive aspect, I lost this person because they didn't have faith in me, they didn't have trust in me, they were disloyal, they didn't love who I am as a person, they aren't okay with who I am, they, da da da, do ones with they. Now that we've noticed the terrible things that they have done to us, now let's look also at the good things that they give us. They made us feel love, they made us trust, they made us loyal to them, they made us know what family is, they made us know what being in society that accepts who for who you are is and how it feels like. You have to look at both aspects. That's how you start coping with it. That's how you cope with the change. That's how you really get past that route, that stage where you feel down and depressed and sad and in a dark hole. Is really looking at things from two sides of the coin. There's always two sides of the story. There's always going to be two sides of everything, really. And that's just the truth. Okay? And now finally, what to do with change. Okay, this person has left us. We've looked at the good and the negative side of everything that has happened. Now what? What is our next step after this whole change? That's the question that you should ask yourself, and that's the question that you should be able to answer it by yourself. Don't go asking people for questions. People give you different advice. People will mislead you. These are questions that you should be asking yourself. Like, as an individual, you'll be like, Rita, now what? What do we do now? This person has left us. We've looked at the positive side that they've given us and the negative side that they've given us. Now what? Now you pick yourself up, get past that. If it's under losing, so friendship or whatever, you have to know that sooner or later your life will not stop just because something terrible happened, and it will not stop just because something good happened either. There is really no greener side of the grass. What did I just say? I feel like I said something that does not make sense. They always say the grass is green on the other side, but there's no side that's really greener. Where you are, as long as you're taking care of that part, as long as you're watering that part, as long as there's sun and rain and everything that the grass needs to grow, honey, you will grow. There's no other place. There's nowhere else the grass is greener, honey. It's where you're standing. You just have to know how to take care of that. You just have to know how to work with what you have to get what you want. And that's one period. I just made such common sense out of me. I'm so proud of myself. But like I was saying, what do you do with change? You accept it. That's the only way. You can never reject change. You can never say, I don't want to move to a new place. I don't want to do this. You will be blocking your blessings. You'll be blocking the blessings, the prosperity, the abundance that's supposed to be flowing to you. You'll be blocking that. Like they always say, God closes your windows to build big, massive doors for you. You're worried about a window closing. You're worried about losing your job. You're worried about failing your studies. But in all sense, there's always something to it. There's always something to it. If everyone in the universe had the same IQ level, in all honesty, let's think about it for a second. If everyone had the same IQ level, if everyone had graduated with master degrees, who would be doing your plumbing? Who will be cleaning your streets? Who will be doing your laundry? I'm not saying that those who do such works aren't intelligent. I'm just saying that we are all blessed differently. Just we are all the way that we are all different. We're not all in the same space. We're not all destined to be in the same route, but the results will always be the same. We all earn money at the end of the day, isn't it? It does not matter the amount, really. It's never about the amount. It's about effort and the work that you put in to get that little amount or that massive amount that you have. That's all it really ever is. So accept this change. I'm supposed to move past the breakup. I'm supposed to move on past losing a friend. I'm supposed to move on past, society discriminating. You're supposed to, yes, I accept this change. This is how people view me. This is how they think. This is how they feel. Okay then, fine. I accept it. Now I can now start thinking about it and really like flipping the coin back and forth and looking at the good and the bad. They say it's never really that serious, but it is. It's always going to be serious. It's always going to be challenging. No one says that change is always going to be easy, because it never is. Up to now, I will still go through changes. And it's not even about my body changes. Please, let's not talk about body changes in public, okay? That shit just drives every person insane, I believe. But that all said and done, we've come to the end of the podcast. I really was struggling today with what to record because, it's all different. It's all new to me, but yeah, we finally did it. I finally found something I could talk about that had passion, and I was driven to it, and I'm really happy about this, honestly. Something else that I wanted to put out there is that I decided that I'll be uploading my podcast on Wednesdays. So if you want to just listen to me, definitely go and check me out on Spotify or on Anchor at Everything Talks. Definitely, I'll be there if you want to see the visual of all these videos. And I promise I'm going to try to be giving you guys visuals of the podcast. Check me out on my YouTube channel at Peniel Rita, and you definitely see the podcast on my playlist, and also have different videos, vlogs, and all the rest if you really want all that type of good things. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it. Hope you guys love this podcast, and I'll see you guys when the sun shines. Oh, the rain is raining. Mostly when the rain is raining, because that's actually my favorite weather. But hope you guys like this, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Peace and light, people. Peace and light. Bye.